What happens when the perfect image of Hollywood's most famous family cracks on live television? What happens when the glamour, the unity, and the sisterhood that has been packaged and sold to the world suddenly shatters in front of millions of eyes? The infamous fight between Kim Kardashian and Kourtney Kardashian was not just another reality TV moment, it was an earthquake, one that shook the foundation of the Kardashians and exposed raw truths beneath the surface. Tonight, we go deeper. We pull back the curtains, dissect the unspoken tensions, and reveal the truth behind Kim and Kourtney Kardashian's infamous fight. The air was heavy that day, the walls of the Calabasas mansion bearing silent witness to years of unresolved tension between two sisters, Kim Kardashian, the polished icon of relentless ambition, and Kourtney Kardashian, the independent spirit who increasingly resisted the machine of fame. We're not simply arguing over family dynamics. They were clashing over the very core of what it meant to live under the Kardashian name. It wasn't just sibling rivalry, it was identity versus identity, philosophy versus philosophy, and, ultimately, love fractured by resentment. When the cameras rolled, the argument began, innocently enough words exchanged, frustrations voiced, but very quickly, it spiraled. The audience at home had no idea that beneath Kim's sharp remarks and Kourtney's fiery responses, years of bitterness were waiting to erupt. This was no scripted spat, no manufactured drama. This was real, and it was raw. For the first time, the world saw Kim Kardashian and Kourtney Kardashian stripped of their media armor. The truth behind their infamous fight lies not just in that single shocking moment, but in the long build-up. Kim, the face of discipline, structure, and endless work ethic, believed that the family's empire rested on each sister pulling her weight. Kourtney, however, began to drift. She wanted space, peace, time with her children, and a step away from the non-stop grind of cameras, endorsements, and carefully constructed narratives. Their values collided, igniting a battle that was bound to explode. I was there in the room when the tension became unbearable. The volume of their voices rose, and the walls seemed to close in. Kim's frustration poured out like a storm, accusing Kourtney of lacking commitment, of dragging down the family's brand. Kourtney, stung by the words, fought back with equal force, her voice trembling with years of built-up hurt. The truth is, this wasn't about one fight hit. It was about years of feeling misunderstood. Years of one sister being labeled lazy while the other was put on a pedestal. Then came the moment that turned the argument into an infamous fight. The tone shifted, words became daggers, and suddenly it was no longer about talking, it was about action. Kourtney moved forward, and Kim did not back down. In an instant, what the world thought could never happen, physical violence between the sisters unfolded before our eyes. A slap, a swing, nails dragging across skin. The sound of impact echoed in the room. It was shocking, jarring, almost unreal. Two sisters, once inseparable, were now locked in a physical confrontation. The cameras captured every second. The footage would later air on Keeping Up with the Kardashians, making headlines across the globe. But what viewers didn't see in those carefully edited clips was the atmosphere that hung in the aftermath. Silence, heavy breathing, tears welling. The sisters, though separated by their anger, were bound by something unshakable, and yet, in that moment, it was buried under rage. This infamous fight was more than a viral TV moment. It was a mirror reflecting the deeper cracks within the Kardashian family dynamic. Kim's dedication to image and empire clashed with Kourtney's yearning for authenticity and personal peace. The truth is, both sisters were right in their own way. Kim fought for the survival of the brand that had built their legacy. Kourtney fought for her own soul, resisting being consumed by a lifestyle that no longer fulfilled her. Behind the scenes, whispers grew louder. Kris Jenner, the matriarch and mastermind, worried about the damage this fight would inflict, not just on the family's reputation, but on the very bond of her daughters. Khloe Kardashian, often the mediator, was left torn, caught between two sisters she loved equally. Kylie and Kendall, younger and perhaps more detached, watched from the sidelines as their elder sisters' war became a spectacle the world would never forget. In the days following, the truth behind Kim and Kourtney Kardashian's infamous fight slowly began to surface. The sisters did not speak for some time. The wound was fresh, raw, and visible. The world speculated, was this the end of the Kardashian unity? Could the family, known for presenting a united front despite endless scandals, survive this? Yet, as time passed, something unexpected happened. Out of the ashes of that fight came an uncomfortable but necessary honesty. Kim and Kourtney began to confront years of hidden resentment. In their own ways, they recognized that the infamous fight, as ugly as it was, forced them to face truths they had long avoided. Kim learned that relentless ambition cannot be demanded of everyone. Kourtney realized that withdrawing without communication would only fuel division. Even now, years later, the fight remains one of the most infamous moments in Kardashian history. People still replay the footage, still discuss the slap, the scratches, the rawness of it all. But few truly understand the deeper truth behind it. This was not about makeup contracts, filming schedules, or brand deals. It was about real sisters, who loved each other so much that the weight of their differences broke them apart, if only for a moment, as the narrator of that day. I tell you this, I saw pain, I saw anger, but I also saw love hiding in the shadows. Because no matter how infamous the fight became, no matter how many headlines it generated, at the heart of it all were two sisters grappling with the most human of struggles, the fight to be understood, the fight to be respected, the fight to be loved on their own terms. And that is the truth behind Kim and Kourtney Kardashian's infamous fight asterisk.